Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on BitChute, the name of my BitChute channel is Comic Freak. Today I thought I'd go over Blizzard VP Overwatch director Jeff Kaplan wants Blitzchung's suspension reduced more or eliminated. It's good to see, as others have said, that people who are working at Blizzard, not all of them are well for the bottom line the company is currently doing to Blitzchung. Some of them are actually in Blitzchung's corner, and we'll learn all about it as we read this article. Hearthstone player Neg Wad Chung, better known as Blitzchung, remains suspended in the wake of his live stream protest in early October. In favor of demonstrators in Hong Kong, that is despite an apology to fans over the handling of the matter by Blizzard President J. Allen Brack at the start of the company's mega convention BlizzCon. In the days since the convention, there are many who feel Blizzard has not done enough to correct its actions, even after it reduced the suspension from 12 to 6 months and returned the winnings it initially stripped from Blitzchung. One of those people is Blizzard Vice President and Overwatch Game Director Jeff Kaplan. I was relieved when they reduced his suspension, Kaplan said in a Friday phone interview, and I think the suspension should be reduced more or eliminated, but that's just me. When Blizzard banned Blitzchung, there was an overwhelming backlash from congressional letters to social media posts. Politicians, gamers, and even prominent former Blizzard employees voiced their displeasure. Not only did many onlookers deem the punishment unfair, but there were concerns the studio was favoring its financial interests in China over free speech. Now, whatever gave you the idea that Blizzard favored China over free speech? Maybe it's because one of their employees was heard shouting, "Screw free speech," and that just turned into a complete media frenzy and bad publicity for the company? Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I thought it was funny, so I brought it up. I'm obviously a huge supporter of free speech. It's something that's very important to me, Kaplan said. It got to me personally. I think the punishment was too harsh, and I was greatly relieved when they gave his money back. I think that was extremely important. It happened way too quickly and came as a shock to Kaplan. He shared that most of his staff, including himself, didn't know about the incident until they saw news articles on the subject. As someone who's regularly part of the conversation when it comes to handling suspensions and bans for the Overwatch League, he explained that normally these decisions are tactfully and thoughtfully considered. We had to deal with a few of them in Season 1 in particular, and that process usually takes about 4 or 5 days to make the decision, Kaplan said. There was always a group of us involved in deciding what the punishment should be, and we would heavily devil's advocate every part of the decision, so I was actually shocked that such a harsh penalty was levied. Now, I don't want to sound too harsh on Kaplan here. He just sounds like he's, spin-doctoring the subject too much, because basically I've seen it in every article lately I've read, so I can pretty much see he's doing it here. But he's pretty much trying to say that he is on Blitzchung's side, even if his answers are greasy and very heavy on the corporate boo-boo we've come to expect from Blizzard. His answer is a nice and welcome surprise to hear. Brack told fans last week that Blizzard had indeed made the wrong decision, but did not rescind or further reduce the punishment. We moved too quickly in our decision-making, and then to make matters worse, we were too slow to talk with all of you, he said at the time. Kaplan is not the only Blizzard employee to come forward with his disapproval of how Blizzard handled the controversy. In an interview with Kotaku, Hearthstone game director Ben Lee told the outlet that he believed the initial decision was too harsh. Kaplan is, however, the first Blizzard head to publicly state that he wants the suspension revoked completely. With more and more Blizzard employees coming out and saying that they're against the banning of Blitzchung, I have to come to believe that a lot of these people actually believe in what they're saying, and are not out there just doing this to get a bunch of likes on Twitter or Facebook. It's nice to know that people who work at a game company still do connect with the people that they're making games for, and that they do care about their customers. It's nice to see for once they're actually doing it. Kaplan made it clear he did not speak for the entirety of his Overwatch division and said that many of his team of developers have differing opinions on the situation. I think as individuals, we all have very different feelings about what happened in regards to the Hearthstone tournament and Blitzchung, Kaplan said. There is a lot of very different reaction among all of us. Those aren't bad answers from Complain, but right now we're going to look at another article and we'll have another view of what's happening with Blitzchung. Overwatch game director Jeff Kaplan disagrees with Blitzchung's suspension. Kaplan told the Washington Post he thinks Nig Blitzchung Cheng's suspension should be reduced more or eliminated. Blizzard's top developer for Overwatch, Jeff Kaplan, said the suspension handed to a Hearthstone pro who voiced support for Hong Kong protesters in an official stream should be reduced more or eliminated. In an interview with the Washington Post in October, Hearthstone pro Nig Blitzchung Cheng shouted support for Hong Kong demonstrators on a Blizzard-sponsored livestream and was suspended from competition, originally for a year, but later revised to 6 months. The suspension drew worldwide protests, both online and at last week's BlizzCon, the publisher's annual fan convention. At BlizzCon, Blizzard President J. Allen Brack apologized for his quick decision regarding Blitzchung and others, but still said the company will not revert his punishment completely. Fans disagreed vehemently. Apparently, Kaplan, Overwatch game director, is with them. In an interview with Friday with the Washington Post, Kaplan said he was relieved to hear Blitzchung's suspension was reduced, but still thinks the punishment should be reduced more or eliminated. Kaplan is not involved with the Hearthstone team, but is the first top-level Blizzard developer to speak openly about reverting Blitzchung's suspension, according to the Washington Post. I have to wonder if J. Allen Brack is, this arrogant and thinks what he's doing is right, or if China is prodding him to do this and, make Blitzchung an example, because all the bad publicity must be weighing heavily on Brack. I'm obviously a huge supporter of free speech, Kaplan said. It's something that's very important to me. It got to me personally. I think the punishment was too harsh, and I was greatly relieved when they gave his money back. I think that was extremely important. Kaplan told the Washington Post that there are many differing opinions among the Overwatch team regarding Blitzchung's suspension. Blitzchung's suspension was already drawn the attention of U.S. lawmakers. In October, Senator Ron Wyden, Oklahoma, and Marco Rubio, Florida, and Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, New York, Mark Gallagher, Wisconsin, and Tom Malinsky, New Jersey, wrote an open letter urging Blizzard to reconsider the penalty. Now, I don't know if I got all the states right. If I got them wrong, forgive me. But this does bring up something that wasn't mentioned in the last article, that even the United States government, or at least officials in it, are taking notice of what Blizzard is doing. Your company claims to stand by one's right to express individual thoughts and opinions, yet many of your own employees believe that Activision Blizzard's decision to punish Mr. Chung runs counter to those values, the lawmakers wrote. Blitzchung is suspended from all Hearthstone esports events until next year. For now, he's got the backing of esports organization Tempo Storm. Blitzchung joined the team on October 31st, days before BlitzCon. Tempo Storm CEO Audrey Yanyak said Blitzchung exemplifies what Tempo Storm believes in. I had been thinking about whether to continue my Hearthstone career in the past few weeks, Blitzchung said in a statement, since I haven't reached my professional goals yet, and I don't want to fall by the wayside. I will start competing again after I am unbanned. So at least Blitzchung is back on his feet and he's with another team for esports, and that's a good thing to hear about. At least someone believes in free speech and is not kowtowing to China like Blizzard Activision. And I'm also glad that Blitzchung's determination to keep playing hasn't wavered at all. I hope he kicks butt next year when he gets unbanned. But the fact that Blitzchung was banned just so China could kiss the ring of China because they need that Chinese dough so badly is something we should not allow, and we should continue to harass Blizzard to not do this to anyone else and to make sure this is an example that they can never do this again. Now, if you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is going around unsubscribing people, so make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you have not subscribed, please subscribe to me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Read Comics, They're Bad For You. Then go over to BitChute and subscribe to my BitChute channel, Comic Freak. Hit that bell for notifications, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. And could you please share this video? Share it on Twitter and share it on Facebook. Share it anywhere you think it would do the most good, because YouTube is not going around promoting their YouTube creators anymore. and it would really help me if you could please share this video. It's plug-in time again. Keep checking back in future videos for more information about my own upcoming independent comic book Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.